Whenever you're ready.
You didn't say
action.
Oh my God, I think that might be helpful, but
get him.
Hey everyone, this is D Movieman, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. And today, I'm coming to you all with yet again my out of the theater, in the theater thoughts. But of course, I am not alone. I'm here to share my thoughts with a particular person.
What's going on, y'all? It's Cinematic Pain. This movie drained me.
Drained me.
Hunting Matthew Nichols. Considering how this film played out, I feel like we could have had a little bit of ear hustling going on, but apparently that has something to do with respectability and behavior in the movie theaters. I didn't realize that's what this was about. But then again, this is the same person who didn't like the term cohort.
A cohort is ridiculous.
Which I see that I will have to continue to use. But anyway.
Listen, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie before, but when you see a movie, in between the trailers and the actual feature film, there's a section. And in that section, the movie theater of your choice will give a little advertisement, a little song, a little dance. But in that section, they will tell you, don't talk, don't text, just generally be a good person. And so when somebody is expecting you to be less than that, then this is a temple. This is my temple. I come here more than I go to other temples that y'all go to, but I respect it. That's all. This is respect.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are here to discuss a film that we just saw.
Speaking of disrespectful to the theater.
Well, directed by a director.
There was a director.
That was a director.
And an editor.
Yeah.
I will say, because the positives on this are probably going to be few and far between.
Okay.
But the editing of this movie was really well done, in my opinion.
Yes.
It was well edited, and for what it was, everything was seamless in the editing department.
Yes. How would you describe the story?
The story is the result of society's over-obsession with Netflix true crime documentaries. Like, if you've seen the entire true crime section of Netflix, then this is a movie for you. And I think that was my problem. It's like, I'm not the target audience for this. My mom is. Like, this is somebody, if like you scroll and your recommended Netflix or your recommended Hulu is a lot of true crime and the haunting of this lady and the disappearance of this lady, then this is that movie for you. They do a good job making it feel like a documentary. I've never seen a documentary with this level of production though. The cameras are amazing. I've never seen a documentary with this budget. But outside of that, they did real, like the actors and the interviewees and all that, very authentic, which it had to be because it was little else. Because I guess I forgot, and so did the movie, that there's also like a supernatural horror element that's supposed to be in this movie. And it's supposed to be in this movie.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, so.
Yes. Well, I will say for starters, my central pro is that I'm assuming this is shot in Vancouver Island in British Columbia in Canada.
It was.
Yes. Okay. I'm a sucker for beautiful scenery, travel locations, shooting locations, things like that. So I was looking at the mountains, I was looking at the water, and I was
cinematography.
like, yes, and the cinematography overall. Because I was like, this looks good. I see the water, I see it all, like, I want to go. I need to book my trip right now. So I was here for that. I also thought the performances within the, mockumentary, documentary style felt very natural. They didn't necessarily feel like I was watching people act. And I think that was really well crafted. And I would also say that given that I personally don't do well with true crime, this kind of reminded me of how, to an extent, like it reminded me of how real life horror can sometimes be scarier than supernatural horror, because ultimately we're dealing with real people doing real things, real disappearances, real crime. Like, And for me, that's way more unsettling, and that gets under my skin more. And so the fact that we were kind of leaning into that in the beginning, I was like, oh Lord, I don't know. Like this just reminds me of just like having a greater awareness of the world and just knowing like anything can happen at any time. And ultimately for me, that's the true horror. That being said,
I'm here.
I just feel like if I needed to take a nap, I have Benadryl. I don't need to travel all the way to the movie theater and then sit down and then watch a film, and it's just like my body is just like, save yourself, save yourself, shut down. Because for anyone who doesn't know, any film that truly does not connect with me, my body will literally try to like shut it down completely.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did you like the first Paranormal Activity?
See, I've only seen the third, the Paranormal Activity.
Okay, well that pretty much answers my question. Because in the first Paranormal Activity, people liked it. I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
And one of my criticisms is that for half the movie, nothing happens. I don't get attached to the people. It's very boring. And then the second half of the movie, then all of the paranormal starts to have an activity.
Yes.
In this movie, it's like that times 3. Like we get 2/3 of the way through the movie, and I'm like, did I mistake this for a real documentary? Like, is this just 2 missing kids? And then the last 15 minutes, if that, is like, we're gonna scare you. And then it was like, then it proceeded. Now, if they had stuck the landing, if it had stuck the landing, I would have been like, great buildup. And we got there. A lot of buildup, but we got there.
Yes.
But when the scary stuff started to happen, it proceeded to be the most predictable. It was like, we got the budget for these shots. And we're so happy that we got the budget for these shots. We're just gonna do the shots we've seen in every horror movie. We're gonna telegraph everything. The music's gonna swell. We're gonna shoot it in a way where you know exactly what's gonna happen, and then it happens, but we still want you to be scared. And I was just like, I ain't getting no popcorn for this and nothing.
Yeah, I mean, not to put your business on Front Street, but I was looking over sporadically, and I just saw a lot of. Like it was a whole lot of movement going on, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. And I was trying to hang in there. I felt like I had a little bit more investment because I was like, maybe there's a payoff, maybe this plays out, because even within horror, I'm always here for the mystery. Like, how will things play out? What's the bigger, reveal? What's the shocker? What's the secret? All those things. And when we got to the end, I was just like, y'all could have kept that secret. Like, it's like, what am I supposed to make of this now? And I also feel like for a film that so specifically and directly references the Blair Witch Project, I was just like,
where's the subversion?
It's just like, is this just not a 2026 new age version of that, but with the far less compelling, far less pop culture, impact, legacy, and all of that? Because I just... You
know what this movie is? Now that you said that, this movie is Lion King 1.5, but not funny.
Oh.
Because this movie basically takes the Blair Witch Project and then asks you, what if somebody investigated those kids? Like, what if somebody started an investigation to find out what happened to the Blair Witch kids in the video?
Yes.
That's this movie.
I actually agree with that. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Which, in concept,
yes,
I get the concept. When they storyboarded this and did the treatment for it, I would have been all in. But somewhere between that point and this point, we lost the plot.
Yes. And did we ever find it?
No. It's still in the woods with them 2 kids.
It's still in the woods somewhere.
In Vancouver.
Yeah. So, as far as your rating system...
So my rating system is not letter grades or anything like that. It's either see it in the theater, stream it, or skip it all together. Skip this movie. There ain't nothing about this movie you need to watch. Now, in a year, when this is for free on something free, and it's Halloween, and you just need something because you like horror movies, but you done seen everything on the internet, and you like, this was that movie that I skipped, then maybe you can put it on. But outside of that, skip this movie. Period. Point blank. this could have been good as a short film. Like The Babadook originally was a short film. This could have been somewhere in that vein.
Right.
Where it was like, yeah, and then they expanded it. And it was like, it wasn't a lot there for us to expand. That's what this was.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I would say it's definitely a skip for me as well. I tried to hold on to hope. I tried to hold on to something to get me through the film experience. I even tried to hold on to my popcorn, but after a couple of chews, that was gone too. So yeah, ultimately, I can't say that Hunting Matthew Nichols is a film that will necessarily fulfill you on the horror side of things, unless you just have really, really low standards like this gentleman here. However, I will also say that it's a reminder that true horror reflects reality. And in this case, I'm learning that the true horror is not really understanding the positions you put yourself in with people you don't really know, but you push forward and do what you can because you want to put good in the world. You want to help uplift people. You want to help them get to where they need to be, and do what you can for your better man, for the fellow man.
Let me tell you.
So it's important.
Let me tell you, the twist he just did was better than any twist that was in that movie. Let me tell you that right there.
You see? I think that sums it all up. So yeah. So this is the Movieman.
And Cinematic Pain.
And yes, we'll see you, I think, at
Later.
the movies.
Oh, shit.